welcome to another live stream. My name is Jonathan, and I'm a mentor and a teacher. I teach people how to build discipline, how to build confidence, how to overcome their fears, how to create a daily routine, how to talk about their anxieties and so much more. If you're new to my YouTube channel, you can subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram. I post up a lot of stuff that will give you tips, advice, help, client testimonials, my own personal journey, where I show my training, my running, my dieting, and a lot more. So today I'm going to be talking about how to build discipline, especially for people that have got anxiety, who want to change their lives. I just did a video before I started this live stream, about a 14-minute video on how to build discipline, which I'm uploading to my Instagram page, which all of you can check out if you want. It was really good. I'm just trying to recite what I said again. So the first step to building discipline is obviously, well, maybe not obvious to some people, but you've got to make a vow, you've got to make a commitment to the thing that you want to be disciplined in. So for example, if you want to lose weight and improve your diet and get in shape and get fit and build confidence and reduce anxiety, that usually entails all those things in that area. Then you start off by making a commitment and a vow. I mean, that's the easy part, right? Because again, a lot of people go wrong where they make a vow to start being disciplined in their life and start committing to being disciplined. But then when the next day comes or the next week and they're not feeling good, they don't follow through, they quit. So I want to explain to you that discipline is not based on how you feel, it's not based on emotions. Although a lot of people get confused at times and they think it is. Because again, usually people set goals, they make, every New Year's, or they say that they're going to do this, and they say that when they feel good. And people generally say that because they know deep down that they're not quite sure if they're going to follow through with it. So it's easy. Anyone can sit here now and say, well, I'm going to start being disciplined on my diet. I'm going to be disciplined on my fears. I'm going to stop running away from my fears in my life, and I'm going to start to face my fears instead of avoiding them. Or I'm going to start a business, or I'm going to give up alcohol, or quit drugs, or whatever commitment you're vowing to make. It's easy to do that because that you're kind of safe to do that now. So discipline's not going by your emotions or feelings, because if you do go by your emotions and your feelings, you're never going to be a disciplined person. You will not build discipline, because as all of us know, feelings and emotions are so unpredictable, they're so inconsistent, and they can change by the second, by the hour, by the minute. So discipline is a behavioral, for the most part. It's a discipline that you practice regardless of how you feel. That's the whole explanation of discipline in one word right there. And I realized that through experience, through teaching others, and through practicing discipline myself, and times at really being good with it and times at being really, really not so good with it. So knowing the difference between the two and understanding the details and the things that I'm explaining now. So I like to give people the explanation, because through the explanation is all the answers, all the mindsets, the tips. But ultimately, it's going to mean nothing if you that are listening don't actually go and practice discipline and exercise your courage, which is also another explanation for discipline. So most of this is behavioral. It's behavioral therapy. It's not intellectual, it's not logical, it's not emotional. It's discipline, it's a practice. So another example of discipline is, going for a run. Running regardless of how you feel. So you wake up in the morning, you don't feel like it, you feel nervous, you feel anxious, or you feel low on energy, you don't want to face the day. The practice of discipline would be making yourself do it anyway, and facing the unknown, facing uncertainty, tolerating uncertainty. So discipline is also all these things. It's tolerating uncertainty. People generally, human nature, we don't like uncertainty. and that plays out on our emotional feelings and our response to our emotions. So discipline is also the ability to choose how you respond to emotions, whether they're negative, they're positive, and the same with thoughts, whether they're negative or positive, because a lot of people can be lazy, they can lack discipline when they're feeling happy in their life, and of course that's another trap as well. So that's giving you an understanding, but like I said before, to get the better understanding, you're going to have to, I'm encouraging you, that's part of my teaching, you're going to have to take action on the areas that you want to build your discipline in, whether it's with relationships with people, making friends or socializing, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's quitting an addiction, whether it's quitting alcohol or pornography or sugar or bad eating, whatever the areas, or breaking out of a certain patterns. You know your own patterns, you're going to know that better than I do. That would be the practice of discipline. And obviously discipline's behavioral, and it's repetition. So that's why I really like to explain training and exercise, because the principles are exactly the same for business, for life, for any area pretty much. So if you followed my videos, especially in the last few months, you'd have seen that I talk about daily discipline. I practice it. I design a program for my clients where you start off in the household where you're living. When you wake up in the morning, you get up early, take a shower. I like doing cold showers, so does my clients. You clean your apartment. You keep your place tidy. That's a daily habit. It's daily, and discipline is daily. Because people make the mistake again. They've got probably, I don't know if I'd say unhealthy, but it's a sort of stuck, limited relationship with time and effort. So people will say things, I'm going to be disciplined, but in the future, and you're not going to get there like that. You can set goals in the future. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I do that as well. I do it for my clients, but you can't. That can be a trap. So you got to have a balance of all these things. So if you say that, in 1 year's time, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in weight, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to change my job, it's fine. But if you don't start now, daily, then you're not going to get there in a year's time, because every single day that you're not disciplined is going to add up. So discipline's daily. We only got 1 day at a time anyway. So even if we set goals in the future, which is fine, we can set 5-year goals and 10 years, 6 months. We can't change the fact that tomorrow is not promised for any of us. We've only got 1 day, so we have to do everything we can do today. And if you do everything today, then the next day you repeat that, and the next day, and before you know it, you'll become a disciplined person. You'd have gotten results in the area that you want to be disciplined in. So I see it with clients, and I see it with a lot of people who come on my channel, and in life in general. A lot of the times people don't have the intelligence, they don't have the awareness and the understanding of what it entails, what it takes to build discipline and to become a disciplined person and get the results they deserve, because they're not practicing it, they're not living it. They're going by logic, they're using reading books as escapism. And you can escape in any way you want if you really allow your fears to get the better of you in your mind. And discipline is not escaping. It's not saying, well, I've read a book, so therefore I'm being disciplined, when you're not. Or I've watched a lot of people for 10 years and they've explained to me what it is to be disciplined, and I've took the information and I'm regurgitating it, but you're not living it. You have to live it if you want to get results, otherwise you're never going to be disciplined, right? You could read 150 books on Navy SEALs, on coaches or practitioners who are disciplined. You can read all their books, you can watch hundreds of videos on YouTube, you can watch my videos, you can see me living it, clients, you can go to seminars. But if you're not practicing discipline in your life, then you're still failing to be disciplined. So it's important that you practice the behaviors and you get the results. So like I said before, an example, you could read all the books in the world on diet, you could read all the books on the world on marathon running, on weight loss, you could read books on boxing, you could read books on martial arts. These are all different disciplines, all in the area that can be categorized as fitness, health, mindset. You could read all the books. You could know in theory more than I could or other people, but if you're not living it, then you're not a disciplined person. You're deceiving yourself. So the way to live it is to take the action, and that would be to go out and do running. Running is one of the best disciplines in the world. The discipline of running in and of itself is a discipline, and it makes you lose weight, it gives you confidence, it gives you discipline for life, all areas. It's a great practice. So discipline is doing, it's not saying, it's not talking. Talk is cheap. Anyone can say these things, but if they're not living it, then they're not living it. And I don't want that for people. I like to believe, I've never done videos, or I've never done mentoring sessions, or I never share my story, or when I'm going running, I never do that in hope that people are just going to watch me and they're not going to go and build discipline. I don't want that. That's not my teaching. If people think that, then they've misunderstood what I'm saying, what I'm teaching. Because I want people to experience it and get the results, and they can, have more gratitude in their life, and the things that come with that, becoming a better person. So I'm also not saying that you shouldn't ever read a book. I'm not being that rigid, although I have said, and I do stand on it, that reading books are not really going to do much for you unless you're living it. Now, someone who's living it, hopefully all of you will be soon, someone who is running and being about to clean their apartment and treating other people how they want to be treated, and practicing, discipline, being a disciplinarian, someone that's living that and is an example of that, by all means, read as many books as you want. If you enjoy reading books, go for it. If that makes you happy, great. But that's a big if. And I've said it before, people that usually come at me and they come at other people and they come at themselves with all this theory, they're not living it. I can tell. You just can tell through experience, and you can see on someone's body, you can see on their body language and their mannerisms and their behavior and the energy that they give off if they're being disciplined. But everyone can do it. No one's better than anyone. Everyone can build discipline, but you've got to put the work in, and it takes courage to do that daily. And I say this to help all of you. A lot of you may want to hear it and may not want to hear it, but that's not my problem. My problem is getting you over your fears and getting you to do the behavioral therapy, which is mostly practical. And a side of that discipline is obviously also mental, but it is taking action. No one ever built a business by just doing nothing. And no one ever lost weight and got healthy and fit by just sitting on their backside. No one done that. It doesn't work. And no one ever, made a difference to loads of people by being comfortable and just by reading books. You've got to go out there and you've got to, interact with the world and share and put effort in. The same way a parent has to look after their children and go out and make a living and parent their children. You've got to get off your backside, otherwise nothing's going to change. Now, please get your questions in at any time. Now, the same with boxing. I'll give a different example. Running is, I'm not even going to say what is the best, because they're all good. It depends on what you enjoy. All the things I'm showing, I enjoy. Running is a great discipline for men and women of any age, any life situation. If you said to me, I want to be more disciplined in my life, Jonathan, my whole life I've been undisciplined, how can I do it? Take up running if that resonates, right? It may not resonate with anyone, that's fine. We've got to find, and that's the thing that's down to all of you, but I'm going to help you today. You've got to find what works for you, because not everybody is going to resonate with the same exercises or disciplines as we all do, but that's fine, because there are so many different disciplines and you've got to find the one that works for you. But you're always going to find one that works for you if you don't make excuses, right? So boxing training is I just can't even put it into words. It's amazing. It's life-changing for discipline. It changed my life. I've seen it change the life of millions of men and women. And you don't have to be a boxer. You don't have to fight. just the training, the regiment of boxing, the punch back, hitting the bag, the pads, the running, the skipping, you know, the whole sort of discipline around the sport of boxing is brilliant for life discipline, life skills. Now, again, sorry if I'm ranting, but I've got to do this at times. My personality, part of my OCD, I guess, too. You can't watch boxing for 20 years and say that you understand discipline of boxing if you haven't done it. You can't just watch live streams. You can't just read books on you know, because it's not going to be the truth. You need the experience. Now, as much as I want to, I love training, I love discipline for the most part. I enjoy it, it's challenging, but it gives me such great gratitude. But I can't physically give any of you, I can't take out my experience and give it to you now. No one can do that. So you've got to go and get your own experience. I could tell you now, it feels so good when you're on the punch bag. And sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes it feels awful. But the experience of sticking in there, the whole process, the challenges of it is a beautiful experience, I would say. That's why I'm addicted to it. And if you see my video clips, you'll see me putting them out, training almost daily on Instagram, YouTube. I just show short clips. I love it, right? I loved it from the first day that I went down to a boxing gym when I was 20 years of age. I absolutely loved it. And it scared the life out of me as well. It's all part of the process, the fear and the joy. But I can't give you that. I can try to explain in words, but I can't do that for you. You know, you've got to experience that for yourself. You've got to go on the heavy bag. So that's my teaching. People have got to face their fears and get that experience. And I can only encourage you, inspire you, mentor you like I'm doing now, and share my story, and also share the story of my clients and my friends and, you know, people that have actually done it. So you've got to go and do it to experience it, so you can build up that discipline. So you're not gonna, you know, like for example, I don't know, if you play video games and you're younger, or some of you might be a lot younger than me, you know, you play a video game and you've got to put a certain amount of effort in to earn the rewards you get in the video game, you know. And it's the same in real life. If you want discipline, you've got to earn it. That's just the way it works. You don't gain discipline by doing nothing. You get in what you put out. So you've got to put energy into that particular practice to get the results. Whether that is weight loss is a result. Whether that is a stronger mindset, a better attitude on life, that is a result. Whether it's more confidence in yourself, that's a result. Whether it's your ability to get past certain anxieties or addictions or habits where you get stuck, that's a result. Hello to all of you. So it's you know, and it's keeping up something for a long time. It's not just that. Discipline is not just, oh, well, that person lost 30 pounds. Yeah. Or that person can go and run 50 miles without stopping. Or that person can run for 10 days in a row without breaking that habit, that discipline. But it's also the consistency. Consistency is the result. It's the process. It's being able to consistently keep going and to keep going when you're not getting the result right away. So patience is also part of discipline as well. So it's also a personal practice as well, as I've said. So it's an experience that you need to gain yourself so you can understand it more. And I can only explain to you as much as I possibly can in words through sharing my story and on this live stream as I can. I can do the best I can, but the rest is up to you. To get the full explanation, you've got to go and take action and get the experience for yourself, whether that's you going for a run, whether that's you going down the boxing gym, whether that's you exercising with weights, or I also love swimming. Swimming is a brilliant discipline, as is weight training. I like all these different exercises. There's going to be other exercises that I've not mentioned. Exercising is discipline. Other disciplines are public speaking. That is probably the best one in the area of human relationships, social confidence, social skills, life skills, communication skills. There's no better, I can't think of a better one. Unless you do one-on-one mentorship with me or a teacher or a coach, or you know, a conversational coach or whatever. But generally public speaking is amazing, but it takes discipline to do it. As I said again, I'm sorry that I'm repeating a little bit again. I'm going on a tangent, but I need to. You cannot learn public speaking by reading books. It's not the truth. You cannot learn public speaking by watching me speak publicly, or by watching Tony Robbins or Les Brown, or going to Toastmasters. That's not the learning. That is the truth that's going to help you. You've got to do public speaking. You've got to get the experience for yourself to get the confidence that you deserve, and the discipline. So discipline is the ability to face your fears and take action in what we call in real life, right? In reality. And that means coming out of your house and coming out of the books and in front of people in real life. So discipline is the ability for a person to be afraid and be anxious, but to act anyway, to act in spite of their fears. So when you're nervous and you're anxious and you're feeling introverted and you don't want to go up on stage, discipline is the ability to make yourself do that, and that is the behavioral therapy, the behavioral practice. And I like to explain discipline in different ways to be creative, because they're all accurate. They're just different ways of explaining it. Discipline is the practice of facing one's fears when one is frightened. Discipline is the ability to do something when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is exercising one's courage muscles. And I said as well on the video that I done today, discipline, all disciplines should teach you about humility, how to be more humble in life. And that happens, well, that can happen through you wanting to be more humble, but generally through the process anyway. That just happens as a consequence, which is a great thing. Generally happens through martial arts, boxing, running, training, mentorship, public speaking, therapy, motivation, helping other people, being a better person, all the sort of truthful, obvious, direct ways in which a person goes about building discipline and the process of that transformation and that development. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I would really encourage people to start today and not put it off, and not use time as an excuse, or, to say that you're too old or you're too young, or now's not the right time, or you're going to start when you feel better. That's a trap. The best time to start is when you don't feel ready, and when you don't feel, perfect. So that will be my video on discipline for today. I've given you a lot of things here, but really there's only one practice or two. Make a commitment with the area that you want to be disciplined in, and start today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow's a trap. You'll just keep putting it off. I'm going to do more live streams later on, all right? So I'll speak to all of you soon. And that was enough for today. What I wanted to cover. All right. Good luck with discipline, and I'll speak to you soon.